What got me here won't get me there. What's that supposed to mean? It means in practice that if we want something new in life, start a new business, get a better relationship, achieve new goals, we need to understand that the old ways of working don't work in the future. We need to learn something new. And to many people, learning means that we start where we left off. To me, it's about doing a reset. And in this video, I'm going to cover and give you some examples from my personal life, how I've done several resets in life, and what is the process I follow when I'm now about to face a fourth one. So what is a reset? Reset to me is understanding that in order to learn something new, we have to first unlearn. So unlearn, and then you can relearn. Using a famous mountain climbing example, let's say my goal was to get to the top of this mountain. And in order to get there, I chose path A. And halfway there, I realized that this is a dead end. I can't get there. What do I do? My preference perhaps would be to choose a parallel path and say, okay, well, look at that. This could work out so that I don't have to take any steps back. So I pick up where I left off. But unfortunately, in order to recondition our mind and our body, we often need to unlearn first so that we can relearn. In this case, it means that we have to walk back to the bottom of the mountain and choose a parallel path here in order to get to the top again. And this, walking back, taking those 5 steps back, that's hard. That's super hard. And many people want to take the shortcut and skip that process. But I believe that it's absolutely essential to do that if we truly want to get something new that we don't today have in our lives. So sharing a personal story with each and every one of you. So I've now done 3 major resets professionally. Personal stories are that's a different day and a different video. But looking at my professional resets. So the first one was when I was 19 years old and I moved to Florida for the first time. I had never been to the country. Moved there, packed my bags, had to open a bank account, get social security numbers and all the usual stuff. That was before internet and cheap international calling. So this was probably, in hindsight, the biggest change in my life. At least it felt that way back in the day. Super glad I did it. So move to Florida when I was 19. My second major professional reset happened when I quit corporate. This was back in San Diego, California. And I started a new business in a new industry. In a city, in a place where I knew nobody. I had no prior knowledge in this business. So this was literally a starting from scratch type of an experience. So new business, new industry. And then the third one happened when we moved back to Finland from the US. Did the same thing. So new business. This was same industry, even though there were no known players or no contacts or anything like that. But literally a full-blown reset too. And now my fourth one. I've always been a big picture person, so I can foresee things, at least I believe I can. And now I can see myself being at a crossroad and about to face another reset. And this is something I actually look forward to. All of these have been something that were not forced upon me, but I voluntarily made the decision to do that reset. Now my number 4. So what are the reasons behind it? So sometimes we need to understand, especially entrepreneurs know this, so when to push, when to pivot. It's a skill and virtue of its own to keep pushing, grinding, executing daily. But at some point you have to understand that enough might be enough. And then it's okay to admit to yourself that, okay, I need to pivot, I need to change directions. And I have a feeling I'm about to face this one now. And now here, next, I'm going to share with you guys what my practical steps are, how I'm approaching this reset number 4. What is it that I'm asking myself, and what are the problems I'm trying to solve? So let's look at that. Changing color again. So the question number 1 that I asked myself is that, what problem am I solving? Also, what's my goal? So in order for me to be interested in any business, it has to meet certain criteria. So number 1 has to be flexible. I'll explain this in more detail in a little bit. Flexible, international, work remotely, and of course, I'm a capitalist by heart. I want money if I put my time and energy into something. So flexible, I have a feeling that I want to split my time in the future between this place and maybe a warmer climate, especially in the winter. So flexibility is key. International, I'm heavily geared towards different nationalities, different countries. I love speaking English, and that's deep in my DNA. Work remotely, like I mentioned here in the first, under flexibility, I need to be able to travel and take my laptop and my phone with me and be able to carry out the tasks no matter where I go. And then money, obviously. So what are then my options? Step number 2. Let's play it out. And these are actually real. This is real talk. I'm not making these up in any way. So I'm going to give you the real options that I'm actually looking at right now. So option number A, that I pivot. My old company, same legal structure, same industry, but I would say a major change in direction. That would be called that's what I call a pivot. This would be the easiest of the 3 that I'm about to present. Option B would be new business, new industry. Basically like number 2 here. And this is a software business I'm looking at, evaluating a viable option for that. And C would be real estate abroad. And maybe you guys have seen in my videos that I've traveled and mentioned that I've been to Spain quite a bit. So I have a couple of interesting ideas there, what I could be doing. So these are my options right now that I'm looking at. So then the next step under 2 still, I would need to be looking at pros and cons, pluses and minuses for each and every one of these. So I'll play them out. So this, and that. So what is it that I would need to be dealing with depending on what I choose? Moving over here, running out of space. Then number 3, once I've fully understood all the options, I ask myself again, which problem or problems do I prefer? Because nothing is perfect. There's plenty of work depending on what I choose. So I need to be comfortable with every single option, looking at this very pragmatically. Which problem do I prefer for my next big project? Because this is about seasons. So if my one season lasts 7 to 10 years, and on average, I might have 5 to 7 seasons in me. So the opportunity vehicle, the topic I talked about in one of my previous videos, is extremely crucial. This is exactly that. This is about choosing my next opportunity vehicle. Which problem do I prefer? And then, when I answer that, I have found my next path. That's how I look at it. Hope this helps.